The president is again calling for a government shutdown, tweeting, "I would be willing to shut down the government if the Democrats do not give us the votes for border security, which includes the wall." The president wants $5 billion in funding for that wall to finally begin the construction he is continuously claiming is underway.
But so far, that's correct, it's not underway. But so far, House Speaker Paul Ryan and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell haven't been willing to bend. Ryan said he hopes the president can be patient last week, while McConnell said that he said this when he was asked about a shutdown on Kentucky radio.
Is the funding of the border wall going to wait until after the midterm elections?
Probably, and that's something we do have a disagreement on. And
so Homeland Security won't get funded before the midterms?
Probably not, but most of the government will be covered.
So you're not worried about a government shutdown before the midterms?
No, that's not going to happen.
Well, he wasn't last week. The president says we need a wall at the southern border to stop immigrants he claims pour in and infest our country. So for fact's sake, let's see what his own Department of Homeland Security says about that situation at the border. In government fiscal year 2016, there were just over 563,000 apprehensions at the southern border by Customs and Border Patrol. According to the agency's own data, it had more than 82% effectiveness rate in fiscal year 2016, beating its own target of 81%. That is 82% of people who are at the southern border stopped from illegally entering the country. Meanwhile, DHS data shows there were nearly 630,000 in-country visa overstays that same fiscal year. Those, as you know, are people who fly into the country and just don't leave. That is almost 66,000 more people in the country unauthorized by simply flying in and staying than those crossing the southern border. And that is something a wall absolutely will not stop. And an example that the president and other pro-wall Republicans have pointed out is Israel's wall along the Gaza Strip. But that wall was along a border 1/10 of the size of our border with Mexico. And it was coupled with policies aimed at making immigration less desirable, like prohibiting immigrants from sending money out of the country and forcing employers to deposit 20% of immigrant employees' pay into a bank account available when the employee leaves the country. So unless the president wants to adopt similar policies, which he has not advocated for, or beefed up the Border Patrol, any wall would cost billions of dollars and have very limited effectiveness.
But the concept of stop the overstaying of visas, I guess, doesn't have the same ring to it as build that wall.
It doesn't. But you build a wall and someone else is going to build a higher ladder.
All right, joining us now is NBC News senior editor of politics, Beth Fouhy. Beth, good to see you. We were talking about this in the break. What does it get the president to continue to carry on about this wall? He's been fact-checked about it. He's got all the voters who think they want somebody who's tough on crime, on border immigration already. He needs to broaden his base. We're coming 99 days from the midterm elections. This doesn't seem like a great political strategy.
He may have those people, but he hasn't gotten them committed to vote yet. And as you guys know, in midterms, typically the party that's in power in the White House loses seats. Right now, we've got tons of prognosticators, really smart ones, including in our own network, saying that there is a making of a blue wave coming in November. He's doing whatever he can to stop that, and that includes getting his voters, as you identified, already very pro-wall, really revved up about immigration, to actually get out of their homes and go vote in the midterms rather than staying home. He sees that as the only way to keep seats.
So that is what Trump is doing. But Trump isn't actually running. Republicans across the country, how do they feel about it? Because Trump, for example, loves to talk about tax cuts and how they benefit the American people. Yet when you trickle down to those states, Republicans are not talking about the tax cuts and they're not talking about this wall.
Yeah, and even more importantly, most of the Republicans who are running or in competitive seats, there are 25 of them now that are running in seats that Hillary Clinton won. So the Democrats only need 23 to retake the House. They've got those 25 sitting right there in Hillary Clinton districts. They do not want this discussion at all. So while he's bringing out these base voters who chances are living in pretty safe Republican red districts, these mixed districts where Hillary won, this is not a good approach.
Hey, MSNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there and click on any of the videos here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up now.